And welcome to Hannity. And tonight we start with a Fox News alert. Tonight, justice is coming. Fox News has now confirmed a federal grand jury has now been launched at the DOJ to pursue possible criminal charges related to the Russia hoax. Now, keep in mind, grand juries are conducted in secret, so we don't know what the charges are that are on the table, and these charges are what they're against. But if I were a deep state actor, you know the names, I would be deeply concerned. We have more on this major development. That's straight ahead. Also, our buddy, the one and only Stephen A. Smith, will join us to respond to the former First Lady of our country, Michelle Obama. Take a look.
You know, I mean, Stephen A. Smith, he's just like every other
he'd
talk
be a
show
great
host.
Real Housewife.
He would be.
Right.
Right?
It would be amazing.
So that's why I'm like, what's the difference?
What's the difference? We'll lay it out. Stephen A. is here. He will respond in a minute. We'll also check in on the current state of the Democratic Party, which is now being praised by, well, mask-wearing New York City radical, communist, socialist, statist, Marxist. Take a look.
He collaborated with the Zohran Mamdani campaign on his trans rights platform. And what we explicitly wanted to do was use the power of New York City to provide free gender-affirming care.
Free gender-affirming care to minors. Who cares? I don't know. The latest on the rise of Marxist Mamdani is now moments away, but we begin with another Fox News alert tonight. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who will join us in a moment, has now issued arrest warrants for Democratic state legislators who fled Austin in order to prevent a quorum and delay a vote on the state's brand new redistricting proposal. Let us be clear here. His elected Democrats, they're wasting valuable taxpayer money and time for yet another staged political stunt that will ultimately change nothing. Texas will redraw its districts. Republicans will gain seats in the House. This is, typical, predictable, performative art from Democrats, and another dramatic plea for attention, another desperate smear against President Trump as well. Take a look.
Democrats are going to respond from coast to coast and at all points in between to this effort to steal the midterm elections.
The tool they're using is a racist, gerrymandered map.
It's starting in Texas, but if this happens, all Americans will suffer.
If Republicans are willing to rewrite these rules to give themselves an advantage, then they're leaving us no choice. We must do the same.
I'm telling you right now, we need to win in the midterm. We need to stop him from cheating, from lying, and from stealing the election. And if they're doing something to add their congressional seats, we need to look at our ways of doing that right now.
All bets are off when the cult leader and would-be dictator of the United States tells Texas to midstream change the game when they know that they're going to lose in 2026. All bets are off.
All bets are off. One huge problem for the Democratic Party. It's called the truth. Look at even the New York Times pointing out Democrats have few tools to counter GOP redistricting because, quote, states where Democrats would have complete control over any redistricting such are already gerrymandered heavily in their favor. Let me translate that for you. In other words, Democrats, they have been doing this in blue states forever, and only now Republicans are acting in kind and fighting back. That includes, by the way, the state of New York, the state of Illinois. In Illinois, for example, for whatever reason, Texas Democrats fled in order to delay a vote on redistricting and protest the horrible act of gerrymandering, which they have been doing forever. Of course, Illinois has a long history. It's been one of the most gerrymandered states in the country. Let me give you an example. 2024, Donald Trump, he got 44% of the vote in Illinois. Not bad considering most people with common sense in Illinois got out and left. And Republicans won 47% of statewide the House vote, but they only have 18% of the House seats. Why? Because of gerrymandering. Take a look at this map. Because of the way it was drawn by Democrats, only 3 out of the state's 17 House seats are controlled by Republicans. And it's not just Illinois. Most states under Democratic rule look exactly like that. In Maryland, for example, Republicans have just 1 seat while garnering 35% of the vote. In Massachusetts, Donald Trump got 36% of the vote. Republicans won 0 seats, not 1, representing the 36% of Republicans in that state. Republicans also won 0 seats in Connecticut, despite winning 40% of the vote. And get this, in the state of Nevada, a state that favored Republicans by a whopping 10 points, and a state that Donald Trump won in 2024, Democrats somehow won every single House race except for 1. Why? Gerrymandering. And we can go on and on and on. In fact, in 2024, Republicans won the nationwide vote by more than 2 points and lost 2 seats because of gerrymandering. And yet Democrats are now suddenly up in arms about redistricting. As you can see, they are not offended by the practice of gerrymandering. Again, this is all one big, meaningless political stunt with a bunch of slogans thrown in. And, of course, the word racist on top of it in order to raise money, get attention, trash President Trump by phony hypocrites that have mastered the policies of gerrymandering. Everyone say it at home. But that is the current state of the party. You are either a complete radical calling for a socialist Marxist revolution, or you spend your day completely, doing worthless stunts, performative art. Meanwhile, even fake news CNN, they have finally come to grips with reality, calling Trump the most influential president of the century. Take a look.
Donald Trump administration is arguably the most influential this century, and probably as well dating back a good portion of the last century as well. Love it, like it, lump it. Trump is remaking in the United States of America. Let's talk about tariffs first, right? There's all this talk that Donald Trump always chickens out when it comes to tariffs. No tacos for Trump. The effective tariff rate, get this, it's 18%, but it's not just on tariffs, which, of course, Donald Trump ran on, in which you're seeing a tremendously influential presidency. What about immigration? Of course, Trump ran and has always run on a very hawkish immigration platform. Get this, 2025 net migration in the United States down at least 60% from last year.
Love it, like it, lump it. In just 6 months, President Trump is getting huge things, consequential, transformational things accomplished, and the Democrats, they're falling apart. They're infighting. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.